Guilds in Medieval to Total War, ranking and guide. Basically, there are 3 tiers of guilds: Guild House, Master House, and Headquarters. Each city can only have 1 guild. Master Houses can be built only once per faction, and a headquarters can only be built once in the world. Cities earn points towards guilds by completing actions. For example, if you recruit a merchant, you score 10 points towards the Merchant Guild. At 100 points, you can build the guild house for 1000 gold. At 250 points, you can build the Master House for 2000 gold, and at 500 points, you can build the headquarters for 3000 gold. Therefore, if every merchant recruited scores 10 points towards the Merchant Guild house, then you just need to recruit 10 merchants, 100 points total, and it will spawn in the city which recruited the most. Normalization. The game works fine for the first 25 turns. However, after that point, every guild loses 1 point per turn. So if you recruit a merchant turn 30, you get 10 points towards a merchant guild. But after 10 turns, all of those points will be gone, meaning guilds are something you need to focus down, one at a time, later in the game. I will now cover each guild, ranking them in order, from worst to best. Thieves Guild, the absolute worst guild in the game. Never build this. All you get is better spies, which, to be honest, are pretty useless. Spies can be used to open the gates of a city, but even then, it is best to just wait out a siege, or go for catapults to force a breach anyway. In addition, the way you earn these guild points causes more problems than they are worth. You get points to this by building inns and brothels, but they give governors negative traits, such as the drunk trait. 5 dread on the governor can also earn points, but usually a governor with 5 or more dread should not be a governor at all, and instead should be leading troops to decrease your enemy's morale. Difficult to get, the route to get it requires you to play stupidly, and the reward is pretty useless. Alchemist Guild, the next worst, but this is debatable. It increases experience for gunpowder units. This increases their morale and accuracy. I ranked it low because it is so late game that it is useless. If you are at the point where you are in the late game and still need to min-max chevrons on gunpowder units to win battles, you are likely not good enough at the game to effectively be able to take advantage of this feature. It is, however, very easy to get, as you just need to recruit a few gunpowder units. The only problem is, you're in such a strong position by the time you get these, that the guild is very pointless. Assassins Guild. Same as the Thieves Guild, assassins are pretty useless, but I think they are slightly more useful than spies, as they can take out opposing agents and generals. Plus, each tier provides a law bonus, decreasing some money lost via corruption, but not much, and providing a 5% public order boost from the law bonus in the city where it is built, but still, all of that is pretty meh. Issue is, you gain this guild in pretty much the same way you get the Thieves Guild, and these buildings you generally don't want all over your empire. The Hashashim Guild.
Sash ringing, the trash singing, mash flinging, bringing, ringing, the crash dinging,
This guild is basically the same as the Thieves Guild. However, you also get access to the Hashashim units. But again, they need inns and brothels, which are not good for the governors of your cities, and likewise, elite infantry are not the general strategy of the Muslim nations anyway. But this is the first guild that I would say is actually useful and viable to try and go for. Merchants Guild, an excellent choice if going the economic toll route. This provides better merchants, better trade in the city where it is built, and access to more units. As shown here, if those cav units are your playstyle, then go for it. But the real gain here, in my opinion, is found through the economic benefits, something that is much needed given that making money is harder in Medieval 2 as opposed to Rome 1. There are many ways to build this, and usually these are the types of buildings you should be going for anyway. They can also even be earned through signing trade deals, and can tick over time if you have a high income, negating that normalization mechanic mentioned earlier. I would say this is one of the easiest to get, and will pay for itself no matter what. The Theologian Guild. This is a complicated one, as it depends if you are playing the papal game or not. If you are, this is essential. This guild improves the quality of new priests, and so if they start with a higher XP, then they will likely become cardinals, allowing you to constantly control the papal vote. The only argument against this is, so what? Being pope is not that essential, as you can just ignore this mechanic and conquer the world anyway. However, they are fairly easy and simple to obtain. You will likely be recruiting priests and building churches anyway. This guild depends on if you intend to play the papal game or not, but it is very powerful if you do go for it. The Swordsmith Guild. This provides +1 experience to your swordsman per level, and the Masters Guild provides +1 experience to heavy cavalry in the city where it is built, and +1 more experience on heavy cavalry across all settlements globally if you have the headquarters as well. This experience increases the unit's morale. This guild is also easy to get. The only issue is knowing what units to recruit and what not to recruit when going for this guild. A secret advantage, however, is that these can be built in fortresses as well as cities, meaning they are less likely to take up a guild slot from another city. Horsebreeders Guild. In a similar fashion, this guild also increases the experience of all cavalry units. They are easy to get as well, as you just need to build stables or recruit any cav unit. The Masons Guild. This guild offers many unique benefits. Tier 1 improves happiness in your cities, decreases the cost of other stone buildings, and allows the recruitment of your faction's spear militia units. Tier 2 improves further on those benefits and adds pikemen. Tier 3 again improves even further and allows heavy pikemen and other heavy units. Lastly, they are fairly easy to get, as the list of what to build to score points towards this guild is a long list. The Explorers Guild. This guild helps with army and navy movement speed, allowing you to travel from one conquest to another faster. Also, the headquarters allows trade to India, which reveals a top secret part of the map and a new hidden India faction. Nah, I'm just joking. This just gives you more money per turn. This guild is very easy to get, as it is just recruiting merchants and building ports and having ships far away from the capital. Overall, it depends on how much you value this extra movement, but I personally love it. And now, in first place, the Woodsmen Guild. This guild provides massive bonuses to archers' experience, both in the city and globally on the higher tiers. Experience on archers improves morale and accuracy. They are also probably the easiest to get, as you only need to recruit archers to score points. The Masters Guild also allows Sherwood archers as well, basically the Cretan archers of medieval to Total War. This guild is also only available to England, meaning no faction can possibly beat you to the guild's headquarters. Therefore, as England, you can easily have the most deadly ranged units in the game, made even more OP from a very early stage, and nobody can steal this from you. You can also gain points by building inns and those types of troublesome buildings, which are not good across your empire. But overall, you don't need to, and you certainly don't have to spam them everywhere, as you can just spam archers instead. Lastly, a general with 5 or more chivalry as a governor also adds 5 points per turn to the city he is governing. Generals with chivalry are the ones you want as governors. Overall, extremely powerful, unique and easy to get. Not to mention that this is the only guild which is fortress only, meaning it cannot be built in cities. This means, in theory, they will technically never take up a guild slot, as all others will usually spawn in cities. By far the best guild in the game. Now, of course there are 4 other guilds still yet to cover, but I am not ranking these in the main list, because they are a little different. The Crusader Guilds. You gain points towards these by joining crusades, but some have other bonus ways of getting them. The first is the St. John's Chapter House, which grants you the Knights Hospitaller, available for these factions here. These also provide health benefits, as these knights historically were healers, so each tier grants them 0.5% population growth. The bonus ways to get these are by being at war with the Muslim powers, and by bordering Muslim territories. The downside is that these are the worst knights, as they do not come with any silver tier armour upgrades, unlike the rest. Next is the Templar's Chapter House, which offers the Knights Templar. The factions that can access these are the same that can get the Hospitallers. The Templars have extra discipline, which means the impact of a lost general does less damage to their morale. The downside of this one is, there's no special bonus way to gain it, so Templars are slightly better units due to them getting better armour upgrades and having more discipline, but they are harder to actually get, so will be rarer on the battlefield, as the chances are the Hospitallers will spawn before the Templars do. Next is the Teutonic Order, only available to the HRE. You gain bonus points towards these by bordering heretic and pagan settlements. The advantage of the Teutonic Knights is found in their second weapon. They use a mace instead of a sword, which has less attack but comes with armour penetration. Perfect late game when up against other heavy units after the charge. Lastly is the Santiago Chapter House, available for Portugal and Spain. There are no unique ways to gain points here, making it difficult to get, but the Knights of Santiago are the only Crusaders that don't get an attack on sand penalty. The others get a -2. These knights can also do more in warm climates than other knights before getting tired, but their discipline is the worst, meaning they are a lot more likely to break from a lost general than any other Crusader knight. But if your general lives, then these are the best. Other features. There are some other universal ways of earning points too. If you upgrade a guild, you score 20 guild points in that city, and another 10 points in all other cities owned. If you destroy a guild, you lose 100 points in its city, and minus 20 to all cities for that guild as well. If you upgrade a settlement with a guild, you score 10 points towards that guild in that city. If you reject a guild, you must wait at least 11 turns until that specific guild can be offered again. If you build a guild, you are more likely to get missions from said guild and more special, unique rewards. Completing these missions leads to more guild points, as you can see here. The final thing to take note of is that some guilds require cities, castles, certain tiers of settlements, etc., as you can see here. Comment down below anything I may have missed, or what guide you might want to see next. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, but for now, until the next one, MELKOR.